Hi YouTube, I want to talk to you real quick about a book I just read. It is called Best Friends Forever and is by Jennifer Weiner. Excuse me. And this book is like her 7th book, I believe. This is her right here. And lots of praise for her on the back of the book. This book is about 2 best friends, and it's about a little bit more than that. I enjoyed the book. It was twisty and turny a little bit. I enjoyed that. Let me just read to you what it's about. Some bonds can never be broken. Addie Downs and Valerie Adler will be best friends forever. That's what Addie believes after Valerie moves across the street when they're both 9 years old. But in the wake of betrayal during their teenage years, Val is swept into the popular crowd while mousy, sullen Addie becomes her school scapegoat. Flash forward 15 years. Valerie Adler has found a measure of fame and fortune working as the weather girl for a local TV station. Addie Downs lives alone in her parents' house in their small hometown of Pleasant Ridge, Illinois, caring for a troubled brother and trying to meet Prince Charming on the internet. She's just returned from bad date number 6 when she opens her door to find her long-gone best friend standing there, a terrified look on her face and blood on the sleeve of her coat. Something horrible has happened, Val tells Addie, and you're the only one who can help. Best Friends Forever is a grand, hilarious, edge-of-your-seat adventure, a story about betrayal and loyalty, family history, and small-town secrets. It's about living through tragedy, finding love where you least expect it, and the ties that keep best friends together. Okay, so in this book, at the beginning, it has them being young children, and it kind of flashes back and forward. It goes from them being young kids to adults, so it's like kind of reminiscing about their childhood years, and also talking about what's happening right then and there, where there's an issue going on with the blood on her coat, and there's a high school reunion that happens, and they talk about how one of them is the girl who, ends up being popular, ends up being famous, and she's also a little touched, shall we say. And the other one, she is your average girl. She's kind of a loner, a little bit, like staying home with her family more. But then as she grows up older and older, she starts gaining weight. Kids at school make fun of her. Something happens at a party with the popular one, and the not-so-popular one, they're still best friends, tries to help her out in her own way. And then they all end up ganging up on her and calling her all kinds of names at school. And she sort of has a horrible senior year because of it. A lot of it goes around the guys in the football team and how they're sort of harassing her and why and stuff like that. And there's also an interesting side note. It talks about the parents a little bit too. It talks about the popular one's mom and her family life, which is really... And then it talks about this one's family life where the mother is kind of overweight, kind of reminds you of the mother in Gilbert Grape a little bit. And then the father is kind of awkward too, in that he is more of a loner, stays at home and makes puppets, which is kind of weird, but he does. And then there's a brother. The not-so-popular girl has a brother who is very popular. He's popular, he's athletic, all this stuff, and then he ends up in a car crash, and it changes the story, and it changes everyone's lives forever. And I feel like the way that brother who got in the car accident, the way that they tell his story is very interesting. I felt like I wanted to hear more about that even. I feel like that could be like its own sort of novel in and of itself, where, a person has to really go through physical therapy and who has brain damage and is not the same person again, and how the doctors talk about that, into how they acclimate into having their own lives again, and trying to become more and more independent, even though they still need help remembering things, to do things, learning what's right and wrong again, what's socially acceptable. That was really interesting to me. So it did talk about it quite a bit, but I wish, not that there should have been more in this book, but I feel like another book could go into something like that in depth. It would be really cool. So Best Friends Forever, it is not really full of a lot of sexual, explicit stuff, so that was kind of nice. A little adventure, a little bit of like girlfriends trying to do their thing, but kind of like in a crazy sort of way. So that was fun. I do recommend it. I actually do. It's not your average book. It sort of has that same storyline, but it is different in and of itself. So I would recommend it. Best Friends Forever. Jennifer, it's Weiner, if you could see that. Okay? That's the author. I would totally recommend her. Check it out. It's a fun fiction book. Thanks for watching my videos, guys. Stay tuned for more. See ya.